So for this video, guys, we're going to look at PA flow again, and I really like this play because of the short post. That's very similar to the meta post that you see out there, but it's a little too wide right now. As you can see, it doesn't get all the way across the field from its position. But if we motion this A to the left, now it gets to the numbers, it's now going to be one of those posts that it's going to be able to get used and throw it to the left of the numbers where you want them to be. What's nice about this is all we got to do is put the X on a slant and block our running back, and we've got a really nice setup, okay? Now, what ends up happening here, if you remember in the last video we showed you, is the player on the right is going to cover that B, basically across the field for a little bit, right? Because of that short post. That's going to give you a nice spot so you can throw it to this X on the right-hand side. And you definitely want to do that because let me show you here. When this guy goes ahead and takes that player over, you're going to be able to throw that ball right here and get some really good yards there. And what that's going to do is get your opponent to have to defend that to some degree. Okay, so if they are just sitting at home as a defender and saying, you know what, I'm waiting for that short post to come across as far as the B receiver goes, then we're going to make sure that we make them pay for that by throwing it to that slant as he comes across. Now, once they have that adjustment, what they're going to see is that you're going to have the ability to now throw it to the B receiver to the left side of the field over here. Okay, so it's really one of those routes that really puts a high demand on your defense, very similar to Pat Sale. The reason why Pat Sale is so popular is because it's got that play, but it comes from that position. Just imagine if we just had those players a little bit closer on the left side, it would be a bunch formation, right? So that's really why I like this play in that regard. You definitely have the ability to dump it to the A receiver when it comes to any type of quick blitzes. Throw it to him real quick, get yourself up the field, and get yourself, 4 or 5 yards additionally from when you catch it. So that's how it works against your cover threes. Now let's go ahead and look at cover two here, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to put this guy in motion, block my running back, and put the X on a slant. So watch here we go. A's going to go across, and what you're going to see here is that the X is going to get wide open over here if they don't recloud their flats. I want to make sure you see that. What happens, okay? I did not recloud my flats on purpose because not everybody will. And, if people doing exotic blitz setups, a lot of times that's the last thing they'll do. So what you'll see here is when you get this guy to come over, this guy, because we have a 4x1 formation, right? What I mean by that is if you look, and I'm just looking to the left side of the field right here, directly behind the quarterback and everything to the left of him, if you count the players, it's 4 players. It's 11, 12, 81, which is your tight end, and 24. That's to the behind left. If you look to the right, you only have 1 receiver outside, right? So that means you have 4 threats to the left, and technically you have 2 if you're going to count 24, but what I mean by 4x1 is you have that ability to just have that lone receiver. That will make that cornerback on number 18 follow him across the field, and that's going to give you the ability to throw it to this player wide open over there, okay? Now, if they recloud their flats, which you should always do if you don't want to get manipulated by this on defense, so let's go ahead and grab cover 2 again, and I'm now reclouding them, right? So all I'm going to do again, move this guy over, block my running back, and put the X on a slant, and you'll see now that you've got the A underneath. You can go ahead and wait for this B, and you're going to be able to throw it to him over there. Obviously, that's a bad throw, but that is going to be open for you, okay? That's the way this is going to end up being. What I typically do is, depending on what I see from my user, I'm going to take that A first, right? If the A is open and I see my users kind of camping in the middle, then I'm going to know, okay, maybe I should take the A. But I'm really looking at that cloud flat, right? If that cloud flat does not cover that guy across the field, okay, then I'm just going to throw it to my A, get myself the good yards. Now, if I have enough protection and I see that a user is really starting to favor the right side of the field, something like this to where I feel like they're going to cover that player across the field, what I'm doing at this instance is that's when I'm waiting on the B to go across the field, right? That's basically my thoughts on this. It's something that, I'm just really kind of reading everything here. I'm looking to the A. The guy's going that way. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wait over here. and I'm going to throw it to that player and get my yards. So that's how I use this play. Really nice design. It's one of the better plays in the book. The one thing that you want to make sure is that you have enough protection. So that's why I do like to block my running back. Definitely call this at the right times. I do like to establish the running game a lot when I come before I do this play, only because I want to make sure that we can get them to kind of not send the house. But if they do, then you just want to do your dink and dunk to your tight end, or the slant coming across, depending on what they go ahead and cover.